I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here. I will not lose.
Yes, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. My name is EJ, and I got my man,
MH.
Yes, he is the DB of the show, and we are Black in Sports, giving a voice to the culture that won't shut up and dribble. Here, bringing you the topics in and around the game. So today, man, we're going to bring you inside the locker room, and we're going to talk about our Las Vegas Aces. I got that red and black on, just repping, ready to talk about our Las Vegas Aces. But the WNBA overall, MH, you ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think I kind of started with where we're going to start, right? And there's no better place to start than with our hometown Las Vegas Aces that's actually doing work right now. So, we're dedicated to the calls because we're filming. So hopefully we get this recorded and punched up for you guys so we can get to enjoying the game, man. But what's your initial thoughts, man, about how our Aces are doing, man?
Doing pretty good, man. They haven't lost. I mean, we're recording obviously in October, and they haven't lost since August. And in the finals right now, looking to go back to back against the other juggernaut team. I think we've been looking forward for this really all season. They came out with a good win, game one, and we'll see what happens down the series.
Absolutely, man. And this is kind of like, the entrance or the foreshadowing. We actually did a show early in the season, kind of giving light to our women in the WNBA. And, the super teams. This is the year of the super teams. And like, we've got that matchup in the finals, right? One was kind of built through off-season acquisitions, and one was built, like they say, the organic way, where we, were able or just blessed to kind of draft number one picks, starting way back with Kelsey Plum to Asia to it just stacked on and on. So, Jackie Young. So it's just been the grace, and then now we got a stellar coach holding down the fort, man. So hopefully our girls, our women, our ladies can kind of continue to like push forward and knock stuff out, man. So kind of give a real live kind of up to date. You were at the opening game, right? Like the home opener, like all I got is my little Aces bottle opener, man. So I'm just gonna go ahead and crack one as we talk about it. But give us a little highlights to get the people about how it was, that playoff atmosphere, game one, and just kind of what went down.
Yeah, really exciting. Probably the best. Best I've seen. And the atmosphere is always cool. Don't get me wrong, but
right,
there's obviously another temperature that it reaches when there's the NBA Finals on the line, and all the celebrities are out, and you're on the ABC, the NBR, ESPN telecast, and you always see during the finals, and I've always heard from back when Jordan was in the finals when I started watching NBA Finals, where you see like the increased number of media presence that's there. So you can see the media presence behind the basket. It was a lot deeper than a regular season game, and
right,
it was just really a good atmosphere. And the game was close and back and forth beginning, and Chelsey Gray did her thing, and Jackie Young.
Oh, she was
kind of
behind
took
that arc,
over
boy.
There. Yeah. And they pulled away, and I guess I didn't even realize Kelsey Plum had a career playoff high. So they all play well. All the stars do what they're supposed to do when it means the most. The only thing I miss is I was dreaming of this matchup, being able to see Candace Parker still. But
yeah, that's the missing thing, man. And to think that we did it or doing it, without the one of the league legends in there, I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, there's a time for us all. Me and Candace is classmates, so I know how I feel.
You said, tell me how your knees and back feel on a daily, right?
Just based on how I feel, I can only imagine what she's going through.
Tell Maya, baby, I can't pick you up daddy's shoulder today.
Yeah, I can only imagine how Miss Parker's doing. So,
Miss Parker.
Hopefully she gets healthy. But no, it's dope, man. It's dope. And I get to see my favorite player. One of these days, we got to have her on the pod. I don't know how we got to work it out. My favorite basketball player, Chelsey Gray, seeing her play is always special.
So it's in the works. She gave a verbal commitment, so it's in the work. Hopefully we can get her. You know, she winning. You know, another title. You know that the distance gets further and further.
Hey, when you start, you back to back champs.
You know,
You got merch
MVP
in
game.
When you get merch.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
you got your signature shoe, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it get a little tough.
absolutely. So Jade, so her manager Jade, which I know she's a very close friend too. You know, so we need to make that happen. So
Hey, come on now.
let's make it happen. But so how was it, man? You know, did you have to sign autographs when they saw, you know, MH and, you know, Black and
No,
Sports?
I just got the
did you put the crown on? You just had the crown?
I said, bro, let me borrow that. And he was like, oh, okay, what's up, bro?
Okay, that's what's up. I mean, you and wifey in all the pictures. Anytime you see LeBron, it's, you know, MH is right there. So don't get it twisted that they were really trying to get the get your photo.
Yeah, I mean, they said celebrity role, so you know they went and showed me and LeBron. I mean, that's the way I'm gonna tell mine. You know, it was both of us. But
hey,
no,
so
man,
the pictures,
really
hey,
cool,
that's
man.
right. The pictures, like what they say in it, like I'm gonna tell this is who, like, you know, other people were. That's how the story goes. Like,
I was sitting next to Uncle Brian. You remember? I met him. But yeah, we were sitting next to him at the Aces game. It was cool, man. It didn't I didn't realize the Lakers and Nets were playing in town.
Me neither. That's so crazy.
Game. And so all the Nets were there. So my boy said he's back. I didn't actually talk to him personally. I'm not gonna lie on here. But
okay. He said he's back though, huh?
Ben Simmons said, yeah, he coming back. I mean, he looked like he's ready to have an all-star season. So all that slander, I keep receipts. All that slander, Ben Simmons, Gene, I'm talking to you mainly.
Gene, Mr. International.
Yeah. All that slander, I keep receipts. My man said he back this year.
Well, we will definitely see because NBA is starting to kick off their preseason media day, which is a couple days, man. So kind of rolling back into just, you know, the season and just what's going on in the WNBA. I think we'd be remiss to kind of not point out that the expansion is finally happening. I think that's something that we've called out on a couple live shows or just when we talk about the growth of sport. I think we did one season last year or just earlier this year, talking about the growth of sports and how globally that can be one way to grow it. But it's finally happening. The WNBA is growing the game, and they have officially announced that the next expansion team will be in the Bay Area. So I think that is a great market for how the Warriors fans are. So hopefully, you know, that's a basketball city in town. You know, it's good that they're getting something new because they've been losing a lot as far as the sport. So it's good for them to be adding something. So I'm excited to see kind of what they do and how that operates, man. Because I think that's something we'll have to dig into. I mean, I don't know if you know, but like, how is an expansion draft going to go with the WNBA with it just being one team, or do you think they're going to announce some more down the line before? Because it's 2025 that they're going to be the first season, right?
Yeah, and I don't know how they're gonna do the expansion draft either. I know from the little expansion drafts that I've seen in passing, you got to make, you know, one or two players available, you know, that they can essentially pick from, and then they get a pretty high lottery pick, number one pick in the, you know, collegiate part of the draft too. So, expansion teams, and we, you know, being folks that live in Vegas right now and seeing the success of the Golden Knights, if done right, if done correctly, they're usually pretty successful.
Competitive,
very early in the standpoint. It's a new city for everybody, and you know, it's good. It's a good expansion. I was on the side of the, I guess, coin that said, I don't know if they're ready for expansion. Let's build on those teams. But you know, as I've done a little bit more research and read some, and I guess this is another. This is actually growth for the W. I think it was early 2000s was the last time they actually had an expansion team, and that was like back when Candace Parker was a rookie. We just talked about Candace Parker, and you know, obviously the Aces relocated, so I think it's going to be a good thing. I think it's going to be a good thing for them.
Absolutely. And I did hear, and I don't know if it was just kind of one of those things like, you know how they talk about, oh, cities that would make sense or people that were on the horizon or maybe didn't make the cut. But another one of the cities that they were really touting was Portland. So, we got some insight in Portland. Maybe we can have some boots on the ground, kind of give us some feedback. Shout out to John really quick. But
yeah. Shout out to, and I wonder, obviously San Francisco and Portland are more progressive major markets in our country. I'm glad to see that, especially when it comes to the W. I think that's big time.
And yeah, they're just one of those communities that, like you said, progressive, very supportive. Because like the Timbers, I believe, is their like soccer team out there, and they've grown and done really well, get really good support. People go to those games and things like that.
Correct.
So Portland would definitely be a really interesting city to see them grow and expand, and how that will work. So more big things on the way, man. So that's just really exciting.
We gotta get this 3-peat first before they start trying to pluck some of our players.
Break our team up, right?
Yeah, we gotta get that 3-peat first.
So in new expansion, I know we're talking WNBA, but just since it's hometown and you were just sitting behind the king, I don't know if he gave you any kind of inside information about him wanting the team and the recent battles, because like I've only heard that he wants the team here in Las Vegas, and that's one of the questions he's always asked, especially when he's playing the exhibition game here. But did you hear that Shaq now is throwing out that he wants the team here? So I don't know if it's a little beef or they're going to work together, but Shaq is, and this is news, like I've just seen this in the recent couple of days, that Shaq has kind of put his name and say, hey, I'm a resident here. He just had his big event. He's going to probably call himself the like big blue eyes or something like that. He always comes up with some kind of name.
The big slot
machine. But what do you think about that, man? And I mean, just really briefly, because I want to keep it on the ladies.
He didn't mention it to me. By the way, that man's his security. He had one dude. I don't know if it's his main security, or I was trying to ask dude, like, what I was trying to do was like filter in through, like ask him a question, like, where do you fill out your application? Where you turn that into, what's your background? Hemming up people for a living. That brother didn't bake character at all. He doing a good job. No.
He already knew your tactics.
Yeah, but nah, man. No to LeBron. All right, watch it out. Nah, but I think it's exciting for the city for sure. And I don't know what that is with LeBron and Shaq, or if Shaq's idea still, or maybe that's real. I'm not gonna say that because Shaq is a resident here. I don't want him to hear this, but you've heard those rumors about him and that Steve Nash thing. We remember when it was like a Shaq versus. This is a way different topic. Remember Shaq versus that show?
Yeah.
And he was doing all the sports, and he would compete against people. I mean, the rumor is that was Steve Nash's original idea, like when they were teammates. And Shaq being who Shaq is, was just like, yeah, it probably works better for me, which it does.
Like, I probably should do that. Yeah. It go like better if I do that. So why don't you just give me this? It'll be interesting, man. But I mean, any of that energy, coming to the city. I love that momentum. I hope it happens sooner than later. So we get that team.
What does that partnership line look like between LeBron and Shaq? Boy, EJ, you got to break down the whole. That's a lot of partners. In the
that's
NBA.
A lot of and the numbers. Yeah, that's gonna be like going into the Matrix. So like what Beautiful Mind, where like you start seeing numbers floating and shit like that.
That's a lot of stuff moving around.
For sure, man. All right, man. Taking it back to the ladies, man. With the expansion, one of the points that you brought up, in like our pre-show, we always, wrap pre-show before we jump on the mics, and just like that, the WNBA is one of the longest, or the longest, not one of the longest, woman professional sports in anywhere, right?
Yeah, in the United States, it is the longest, and we always hear, about, who's supporting it and who's not supporting it, but I think it's done fairly well. And I think that if you took a look at, and we've done this before on the show, the first 3 decades of the NBA and the first 3 decades now of the WNBA, while they don't compare right now because the NBA is much older, if you look at those 3 decades side by side, they're very comparable, and the WNBA is doing a really good job from revenue, from obviously TV deals, obviously different era, but they're doing a very good job. And with some of the crop that's coming in that we know, um,
Yes.
I think it's only going to get better for them. And the stars are giving back. You know, the one thing that I really appreciate about, well, really the NFL and the NBA, you can kind of see they faces a little bit, but I think the WNBA has much more of an NFL feel to the legends to the current players. Sheryl Swoops was there, and as equally as impressive it
Yo,
was to see LeBron James, it was that much more, even more impressive to see Sheryl Swoops just 2 seats down from her. She was a little bit more accessible, but it was really, really cool to kind of see Sheryl Swoops in person. But with that being said, Sheryl Swoops is there giving back to the game. And I know they do that in the NBA, but Charles Barkley has made a living on hating on what these guys do.
hey,
and
Charles Barkley got them cats won the box.
I'm talking about like
So
he's made a living talking about this generation versus his generation. I think that seems to be a theme in the NBA. Whereas in the NFL, you don't really see that. It's more of a respect for the game and respect for the players. And I feel like the WNBA, the WNBA has much more of that feel of reverence to the greats, and the greats have reverence to where the game is now. And I think that's healthy for the league. So, it's incredible to see where it is now. Now, Asia Wilson is one of the ones that's carrying the pioneer and connecting the dots, and it's good to just see the game continue to pass down, the skill level continue to increase. Because back to the game, the old girl from the Liberty, she might be the best shooter and it's not even Sabrina who won the 3-point contest. Joannis or whatever, I think the French girl from the New York Liberty, the way she was hitting those threes, she might be the best shooter in basketball outside of Steph Curry. It's that real. So, man, I'm excited about where the game is. Not too excited about the Liberty, more excited about the Aces, but just excited, bro.
and that's a big thing, right? Like where the game is going, and like the more we see these, and I agree with you, man. Like, the more Asia's out, she's out in the community, like she's connecting with
Definitely.
the other players, right? Like, I mean, hell, she's calling Usher out to make sure he's at the he's at the parade, and it's like they're being vocal and making those connections. I mean, hell, I mean, you got LeBron talking about her in one of his post interviews, talking about he hooked her up with the signature shoe that she wore, so she got that, first look to rock his shoes. And then you talk about Kelsey Plum and her relationship with Tom Brady, right? Like, it's good to hear these stories because now it's connecting all of these, in a different way, right? Like, just like people are going crazy with the, Taylor Swift and what the other dude's name is, Kelsey thing, right? It's blowing up, right? It's taking a whole kind of thing to where.
Thank you for mentioning. We gonna get about 10,000 views on this just by saying Taylor Swift.
That's why I'm trying to get them Swifties up to get our numbers up. Shout out to the Swifties. But no, it's definitely that. Like with Kelsey doing that with Tom, and of course Tom Brady being an owner, of the thing and showing up, man. It's just adds to that kind of connective tissue of where the league is going. And then it's just, you hear more about them. Like, I mean, she had an interview talking about like girls. She was on the Up and Smoke podcast, right? Talking about like girls maybe talk more trash than the dudes, and
ain't no maybe to it.
And not even that they talk more trash. They're probably a little more cutthroat, man. Because I've had my baby niece say some stuff to me that cut to the core. So
right.
It's just them evolving, getting us closer, connected to the game, man. And the more that they, can be celebrated and shown in this expansion, I think all of it is kind of, happening at the right time in the right way.
Yeah, and it's cool that we get to be in the same city as the Aces, because I feel like they're really setting the bar pretty high across the board what they're doing for the game, not just on the court, but I think they have the highest paid coach, obviously, in Becky Hammond in the NBA. They want to. I think now the Chicago Sky are starting to build a facility, or they don't have one, or they're in
built the
process
first that facility coming.
Yeah, but they got they have the first facility, and the names that are attached to their ownership, when it comes to obviously Mark Davis and then Tom Brady, and they play in Las Vegas, and it's an exciting home atmosphere, and the personality of their players. You know the personality, as you mentioned, of Asia. You know the personality of Kelsey Plum. I've seen Kelsey Plum on lots of podcasts. You know what I mean? So like, it's kind of cool seeing them really set the standard for what where the league is going. And they're really, really talented. They're really good. They're really good, and it's like the next dynasty. I'm hoping they kind of reminisce kind of like what the Comets were.
Comets, yeah. I was just about to say that. Right. Let's keep it going.
Because they were the same way. I mean, Cynthia Cooper had everybody raising the roof 6 years after it was not cool to do it anymore. And we know Sheryl Swoops and Tina Thompson was doing her thing. So like, hopefully the Aces are going to be that team for the next generation.
I mean, well, looks like we gonna keep pushing forward towards that, right? Like there's nothing, only like you said, maybe that the expansion, man. It looks like they've gelled. I just love to hopefully, Candace does come back next year, just to get one run. Like after an injury like that, where you think she's done?
I think she just needs to go. I mean, she can do both, but she needs to go ahead and get her permanent spot on the TNT desk. And I'm talking about not on that show with D Wade. I'm talking about the real one. No disrespect to that show, but yeah, put Candace in the starting lineup. You can substitute whoever you want out, or you could just add another chair for her.
Just add another chair, right?
Yeah, but I think she should do that. That should be the next phase, and I think that's really dope because it connects the game. The thing that I love about it is that, when Candace Parker, they don't say in a W game versus the NBA game. They just like, hey, if I'm going ISO on somebody, I'm going ISO on somebody. It just connects the pieces. It's not
facts.
W game versus an NBA male game versus a woman game. It's just like, hey, we hooping, and this is how I see the game too. So. I like that. And I hope that's what she goes to because, hey, Candace, I don't want to see you limping up the court. I mean, wearing 6 knee braces. I don't want to.
I mean, what about can she be the Haslam of our team, man? Like, just maybe player coach, and then we just get her to come off in the playoffs or something like that. Come on.
I mean, maybe she got to fight one or two people during the regular season for no reason. She got to get texts for no reason in the regular season. So maybe
right?
Maybe she do that.
One thing that I want to get out there, man, like, we always keep it positive. We always on a high thing, but I am buckets, man. You've been dodging my man MH.
And I know he knows who I am now because I've seen him a couple times and he gave
you that look. Yeah.
Yeah, even in the suit, man. Why you buckets is being buckets? Yeah, man.
So buckets.
I'm very available.
So we're gonna let you get by because the season's over. You know what I mean? Like as far as what you guys got.
We got one more. I mean, if the Liberty, maybe they make this interesting and win 2 games.
Maybe.
And they come back to Vegas and we got one more opportunity at this thing. But I'm not going nowhere. We're not going. Black and Sports still be here.
Right, we'll still be here. Hey, tell them tell them really quick the Dion part when we said the buckets. Let them know.
Yeah, I ain't hard to find. I ain't hard to find.
For sure, man. Oh man. Other than that, man, we much love the buckets though, man. Good people. Just all of the Aces staff that we kind of work closely with. They're just in the city and all the good things that they do, man. Just great stuff, man. Like you said, even talking about the atmosphere, the people we've had performing at the games, right? Like just stepping it up, So it's just really good to see.
Auntie Ashanti was there. I gotta I'm gonna be respectful, but I had to get up close look at Auntie Ashanti. She's doing her thing.
Yeah, her 2-step, baby, killing me. She got that staying 2-step though.
She's not moving off that path.
She's not moving off that 2-step right there. She's still got that.
Aces logo. She stayed right between that C and V the entire time for about 6 songs.
That's it, man.
All of them.
Hey, she gonna give it to you strong though. She gonna give you a strong, but she in her lane, like what the Will Smith said, like right here, right here.
She stayed right between. And I'm not talking about the C and the E on the big Aces. No, I'm talking about the C and the little V right there between that little thing. She didn't move after that. Yeah. She
That's
stay
good
right there.
stuff.
But she sound good. Good job, Ashanti.
No, man. So just good job all around, man. So hopefully, we look back on this and it's a back-to-back situation, man. So overlooking, man, the season's not over, but it's coming to an end, man. Any highlights or major moments, not only just for the Aces, but just the whole WNBA in your mind that you want to kind of that you think about when I ask you that question?
Highlight. I think it's really cool seeing the level. I put it this way: seeing the skill set of the three that finished the WNBA MVP. We talked about Asia, at nausea from here, but Breanna Stewart and her game, the versatility in her game, and dang, I need to pull the girl's name from Connecticut, who is the real deal, triple double queen. Those three skill sets, and they all play, I guess what you could say, the posts are big or whatever. But similar to the NBA, where you have a Giannis, a Jokic, an Embiid that aren't just, and no disrespect to Rebecca Lobo, but not just like, in the post and doing, the big stuff. I do remember women's basketball in the early 90s when Connecticut had all the bigs, and they just had a big and they were going to dominate. Yeah, they had a Sue Bird, but if they had a big, the big was just going to Tina Charles, everybody. And while that still happens, you see Asia, she'll step out and hit a jump shot. Breanna Stewart shoots threes. The other young lady is getting triple doubles, leads up the court. So just the skill set that's coming from the three best players in the league right now, I think is really good for the game, similar to what it is for the NBA when it comes to their big. So I think that's really, again, we talk about the future of the game. I think that's really exciting. Part of the skill set development overall, the talent in the league, I should say. And I gotta get this girl's name. I ain't gonna go out like that.
Why you getting that?
Elisa Thomas. I don't know why I went blank on her name. She's cold. So
I like it.
Cold. Draymond Green, but with skill.
With skill.
With actual skill. She's cold.
So for me, I think it's just the WNBA coming back doing All-Star weekend here.
Is it permanent yet?
That's you took the words right out of my mouth, man. I think it should be a definite permanent location. KD, Kalani, I'm sorry, and all the Aces staff for saying that, because I know it does put work on you, as MH and I know, when you work for an organization and you're hosting the big event, that is added extra work for you that you don't get paid for or get compensated for. But for the league, from the bigger picture, and what it does for the community and just all the things that the fanfare that goes around, I think they had it here a couple years before. It just gets better each year. And I just think our city, the way we perform, the way we put it on, and the things that we have, the ownership really understands the value of being the host city for this. If you want to do every other, okay, go somewhere else just so you're reminded of how dope it is to have it here. They just did a phenomenal job here. So that would be like my memory, just kind of going out, and then just our team hosting and doing all kind of events throughout the week. They took it upon themselves, or their foundations, and just making themselves available. So for me, that would be the big thing. Memory from this year, just kind of like a reminder and a stamp on, one, just how the WNBA is growing, even just the game. I mean, Nesca went off with the 3-point challenge. It's like just everything about the All-Star weekend was really, really done fantastic, and it looks like it's just going to just continue to grow, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I gotta one of these summers, I'm not going to be traveling during that All-Star game time frame, and I could actually enjoy the festivities one of these summers. So we'll see.
All right, man. So anything else for the people before we get out of here, Mitch?
Chelsey Gray. Shout out to Chelsea Gray and Alicia Clark.
Absolutely. Hey, Anyway, before we get ourselves in trouble, shout out to the point
she
guy.
Played really, yeah, she point guy's good.
Yeah.
She played really good. Alicia Clark,
100%.
Gave great minutes.
Love the whole squad. Let's bring it home, man.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. Well, hey, thank you all for watching the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Big things and just more growth to happen with the WNBA. So we're definitely excited and we're a little spoiled here. So good luck to them. Hopefully, it's back to back, like I said again. If you enjoyed the show, please share it. We're on every kind of podcast platform you can think of. So Spotify, you can even tell your Alexa to play Black in Sports. I hope that if you're playing it out loud, it kicked on Black in Sports on your Alexa app. But just remember, we're on YouTube as well. So click that subscribe button. And please remember, stay safe, practice gratitude. We're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yo. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap and back.